I was doing more traditional deals, just trying to use my W-2 income.
Save out as much as you can.
Exactly.
And dump it into down payment.
Yeah.
Isn't it making you mad now you learn what you can do?
Oh my gosh.
We're in Monterey, California. I'm very happy today I get to run into Dustin Siler. I have to hunt him down. He was all over the place, such a popular person to talk to. He is the physician assistant.
Yes. Yep.
And then it's so fun to run into another person who's investing in real estate, also still working in healthcare. So before we start, let's talk about, how you run into Subto. And I know you're still actively working your W-2 job. When did you decide to start your investment journey?
Yeah, great question. So like you said, I'm a physician assistant. So I bought a house in Utah in 2008. And then when I went to PA school outside of Utah, I put renters in there because I wanted to come back to it and I wanted to have a place to live when I came back. And I learned really quickly through that, becoming kind of an accidental landlord, that I love real estate and I love somebody else paying my mortgage down, and the appreciation was nice and the depreciation was good. And so I kind of got hooked on real estate at that point. But it wasn't until after I finished PA school, got settled in my career, kind of got a little bit stabilized financially, that I then started focusing more on getting back into real estate. And at the time I was doing more traditional deals, just trying to use my W-2 income to buy.
Save out as much as you can.
Exactly.
And dump it into down payment.
Yeah.
Isn't it making you mad now you learn what you can do?
Oh my gosh. So I spent so much time on that kind of investing.
I know, that's what I feel like. And I love how you said accidental landlord, like you bought the house with a purpose and I can use it maybe, a couple of days in a year, and I rent it out the rest of the year and then tenant help pay the mortgage. How did you find the rental?
It was my primary home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I bought it to live in when I finished my undergraduate, between my undergraduate and when I actually went to PA school. So I was living there for that period of time. And then when I went to school, I didn't want to sell it. I wanted to keep it and come back to it. And so I just put renters in it.
That's great, because I remember when I went to pharmacy school, a lot of the doctor friends I met through the school, they're doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be here studying in school for sometimes 4 or 5 years. If you decide to do a residency in the same area, you're going to add another year or two.
Yep.
Instead of paying rent for the 5 years, might as well just pay into your own house and then appreciation and all that.
Yeah.
Now you bought that one, and how did you joining Pays Mortgage Group? And now I think your entire rental portfolio has changed, right?
Pretty much, yeah. So I still own a couple of the traditional homes that I bought. Once I got settled in my career and everything, and I wanted to get back into real estate, I started buying more traditionally. I was putting the 20-25% down that the loans required. And I learned very quickly that you scale out of that very fast.
Yeah, you tapped out really bad.
Yeah, I'm not getting paid enough to do that kind of investing, So I was really limited on what I could purchase. And so I started trying to find other ways to make money so that I could buy more properties. Initially, I was looking for ways to just add income to my income. And through my search for that, as far as, how do I make money to my real estate, I came across Pace's YouTube videos. Specifically, I first found Gator, which is his lending YouTube videos. And I was so impressed that this guy had 4-hour videos on YouTube for people to watch that would basically explain almost everything. I mean, he gave so much value that I was like, I want to be part of that. And it seemed like a great way to start investing. And so I joined Gator, and immediately within a couple days watching the Gator information, I was like, this guy gives so much value and he's constantly talking about this group Subto. I feel like I need to be part of that. It's going to open up my mind to a whole new world of investing. And so I immediately jumped into Subto.
I see. So when you first joined Gator, explain to our audience what Gator lending.
Yeah. So Gator lending is transactional lending. It's lending chunks of money for a shorter period of time in order to help people get a deal across the finish line. So if you have a wholesaler that is just starting off, they're trying to do this on a shoestring budget, they don't have the money for EMD or something like that to open escrow, earnest money deposit to open escrow or something, you can get a lender that will come in for just that short period of time, bridge that gap for them.
So they can get it locked down under contract.
Let them get it locked down, let them get escrow opened, and let them move that deal. And that helps them get started in something in order to make money, where without money, they wouldn't have been able to start.
I see. Your private bank time cost Dustin, I need 10K down for this awesome wholesale deal I just locked up. How long usually your money have to stay in with them? Because it's transactional.
Yeah, with Gator, you're usually looking at really short term. Your money typically never leaves escrow when you're lending, so you'll send money directly to the escrow company. And usually with Gator deals, you're there anyway. Some of them will be a day or a few hours. And then depending on if you're doing the bigger ones like corporate transactions and things like that, sometimes your money will stay in escrow for 6 months while they do the due diligence. So it kind of ranges. The key is that your money always stays in escrow.
Right, so it's protected.
It's protected.
Never leave the escrow.
Yep.
That's great.
Yep.
So then after that, you joined Subto, right? And have you changed your portfolio a little bit, like buying different type of rental?
Yeah, I have. So I've started buying creative properties. So I'm taking over existing mortgages. I'm buying seller finance. Yep, that's Subto. And then buying seller finance, like actual seller finance where there's no debt on it.
Right.
There's other creative, there's so many different ways you can buy creatively, but the real big thing that has come from joining Subto is the change in mindset of how you look at something. It's not, well, I have to have this and this and this in order to do this deal. It's, this is what I'm being told. How do we find something that works for everybody?
Put it together, yes. And then you don't have to do everything, but you put the pieces together. You can find a Gator to help fund the deal, and you can be the deal maker who put the deal together. And we could have investors passively on the side to fund the deal.
Sure. Yeah.
Right?
Yep. And you can find a way for it to work for the seller. You know, a lot of times these sellers, if you sell traditionally, you get a one-time check and that's it. If you sell creatively, well, now you're making interest on something you would never have made interest on before. You actually make way more selling creatively than you would make selling traditionally. So it's really a win for everybody.
Yeah, and I think one thing I learned the most is it's the value of money. Sometimes when we negotiate with the seller, they're not willing to get their price down. They want what they want. That's a product that they want.
Yep.
So we can say, hey, yeah, I can give you the price you want, but we need to get the terms.
Yeah.
And you can negotiate, and that's when it becomes so fun.
Oh, it's great.
You can make money on the interest, or you can money on the monthly cash flow, or you can even make money on the future appreciation. I think that's when, especially more sophisticated seller, they love that to avoid a lot of a huge capital
gains.
Gain. For me and you, we work in W2, we get hammer every year. It made me so mad. Like I have to write a big check to IRS every year. So I think that's another reason when I start buying real estate, because that helped offset my active income. And then believe it or not, I don't know if you do like cost segregation with out of your property. And last year I actually got a refund check back to me.
I mean, you're accountant.
On top of that, I know you kind of recently restructure and you venture into buying businesses as well, right? That is
working on it. Yeah. Yep. So I have one business and I would like to buy more. But yeah, I bought a wedding venue up in northern Idaho. So it's great. It's 7 acres up in northern Idaho. Beautiful area right between Coeur d'Alene and Sandpoint up there. So gorgeous area. We've done a lot of renovations on it, which has been a ton of work, a lot of sweat equity and things like that put into it. But it's gorgeous property. We had our first wedding a couple weeks ago and we're running for the season. And yeah, when it's not hosting weddings, we have short-term renters in there that are in the area to just hang out and play and see family and all that stuff. So it's a good venture. But yeah, I like business buying too.
I know that is fun. It's one of those fun projects I'm hoping to get into in the near future. It has so many income streams, like you just mentioned, right? You can run a wedding venue. You can rent it out. Describe it. What's on the lot? Does it have cabin, camping?
It has a house, so it's got a 3-bed, 2-bath house, but we have bunk beds and stuff in there. It actually sleeps 13 to 15 in the house.
Okay.
We have a few RV hookups there, so we have 4 RV hookups that people can tap into, and then there's 7 acres. So we actually do allow camping. There's an option with our wedding packages that if you want to have your guests stay and camp for the night, we have an option for that. Yeah.
Are you thinking about venture into glamping as well? You build out what's your thought on that?
I love glamping. I think it'd be great. I'm probably not on that property, but on a different property, I think there's like a huge demand for it. It gets people out that wouldn't normally go camp.
Unique, right? Experience.
It's experience. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I like you to kind of dive in a little bit more because I know the way how you found out about that opportunity. It's pretty interesting. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I was just cruising Facebook groups, for sale by owner business groups, and somebody posted in there, and so I reached out to him right away and sent him a message and said, hey, I'm interested in this. What's the word? What's the details?
What's the price you want?
Yeah, exactly. And he wanted way more than it was worth. There was a lot of back and forth negotiation. I told him I wasn't his buyer 5 or 6 times probably. And he just kept coming back.
That's when you know they wanted to make the deal.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So what was the initial price that he wanted? What's the end of the price that you got it under lockdown? And I know you kind of structure it differently as well, right?
Yeah.
But he's staying as a consultant or?
Yeah, so he initially wanted $750 for it, $750,000. And looking into the numbers, just the business wasn't there for that much of a purchase price. We actually ended up getting it we took over his existing mortgage, which is a 3% mortgage.
Whew.
Yeah, it was great. And we ended up, the total purchase price on it was $475.
That's still really pretty cool. It almost sounds like half.
Yeah, it was just almost what he owed on the mortgage with just a little bit extra in there. We put $38,000 down total plus closing costs. So we were right about that 10% entry fee on that.
All in.
Yep. He agreed to stay on. He does marketing for a living. And so he agreed to stay on for the first year doing marketing for us, basically at cost. He would purchase the ads and everything, but he wouldn't charge us like his time and stuff like that. So it was just ad cost.
Did you give him any percentage to stay in or then phase out or?
Yeah. We gave him a percentage that was based on performance of the business and the property.
That's smart. So then he's incentivized to do the job.
Yeah. Yep. So if there isn't anything coming in, there's no additional percentage going out. Yeah.
Okay.
So
is it percentage out of the pure profit, the cash flow?
Correct. Yeah. So it's out of the pure profit. It's out of the total profit that we take home. And so until it turns a profit of a specific amount, there's no payment going out. Yeah.
So he's staying forever then until you.
He has a 7-year balloon out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The mortgage, we don't have a balloon on the mortgage. We gotta just ride that for the life of the mortgage. But he is out after 7 years pending performance of the business.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so if the business never reaches those metrics that we agreed to, then there's no additional payment. Now that's obviously not what we want.
Yeah.
I'd much rather pay him.
Of course.
Than not pay him.
That's such a smart way to structure it because a lot of time I think people structure seller financing deal. They like to just, okay, you get paid this set amount. But sometimes business go up and down, especially business, active business. You never know. It's also seasonal. So that help you insulate yourself on a lot of risks. That's super smart.
Yeah.
So are you looking for buying the next will be something similar? Another wedding venue, another camping RV?
Probably not wedding venues. Yeah, wedding venues are not for me. It's great. It's been a good experience, but it's probably wedding venues not what I want to do. Service-based industries. I really like service-based home service. Yeah, HVACs, plumbing, roofing, landscaping, all that kind of stuff that people need. I really want to be in businesses that provide recession-resistant jobs for people. I want to be able to be an employer where people know I've got a job and it's secure. And so wedding venues are probably not quite that, but some of these other businesses are. So definitely looking for those and then, looking for more properties.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that. I'm looking for businesses, but also recession-proof businesses, specifically like healthcare background. I like to invest into assisted living.
Yes, love assisted living.
Senior living, independent living. That's great. And also, I just love working with my doctor friends and various friends. Like we speak the very similar language. We like really well. We look at the number, not a lot of time we're just good at analyzing everything. So.
Addiction recovery is another great medical-based business that I love. It provides such a wonderful service. There's a need for it. And with the medical background, it fits very well.
Definitely provide expertise. And I used to be in the hospital, prescribe a lot of rehab program drugs. It's the area that require a lot of love and help to bring these people out. So thank you for sharing that. So there you go. That's my friend, Dustin Siler. I'm so glad to bump into you again. I'm sure I'll see you again in a few months.
Absolutely.
And we're going to list all the contact information. How would people be able to find you if they wanted to work with you?
Sure. The best way is probably Instagram. It's _DustinJ on Instagram. Best way, you can DM me there and reach out. If somebody wants to work with me, I'd love to work with them. Got projects in the works, or if they've got something they want to partner on or need advice on, I'm happy to talk to anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Currently live in Utah, right?
Currently living in Utah.
And I know you're traveling around to do...
Yep, I'm doing travel work. Yeah, I'm covering hospitals in multiple different states right now. Mainly in Idaho and Wyoming, but I'll be back in D.C. doing some coverage. Got some stuff coming up in Nebraska, Arizona, Washington, D.C.
You need to give me a call.
I will. Yeah, for sure.
Let's grab lunch or dinner.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Thank you for coming out.
Thank you.